massive deals. I would like to introduce to the Wholesaling Inc podcast, to the Rhino Tribe, a wholesaler coming out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, that has spent her whole life practicing and perfecting and really understanding what it takes to become a professional athlete, but has now transferred those efforts into a professional wholesaler and is documenting the whole thing on her incredible YouTube channel and her incredible Instagram. It is my pleasure to introduce Lily Thompson to the Wholesaling Inc podcast. Say hello, Lily.
Oh my goodness, that was such an amazing introduction. Thank you, and hello to the community. I'm super happy to be here.
Let's break down a deal, Lily. I'm excited. Let's break down a deal. Any one that you want, you can break down your first one or your biggest one, whatever you want to break down. Let's really put you in the hot seat here and find out where this came from, how you did it, what your approach was.
Okay, let's do my most recent one. And where should I start?
Start with how did you first make contact?
Okay, so I first made contact about 2 weeks prior to doing this deal with the listing agent for another property.
Okay.
I made the offer, got a bunch of offers over mine. The seller rejected it, but I built up some good rapport with the real estate agent and just let him know, if you ever get anything else, give me a call. 2 weeks later, he reached out. I've got something you might be interested in. Do you want to take a look at it? And of course I was like, yes, and I jumped on it.
Awesome. So when you called the agent the first time, was it on an expired listing?
It was on an active listing. It was actually about 30 minutes after a new listing had come on the market. And I just saw it was an as-is sale, no repairs, needs cosmetic updates, needs a new roof, that type of thing that I knew would be good for cash. And I got outbid by other investors, but I knew it was distressed. And so I figured this agent has this distressed listing. He's probably going to get some more as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And so do you have some sort of alert set up through PropStream or through something, Zillow or something, that pops up and sends you an alert anytime a new property comes on the market that says something like fixer upper or as is? How did that work? How did you get on top of that so fast?
I have just Redfin alerts for certain keywords that tell me there might be some distress. Like you said, as is, fixer upper, cash only, that type of thing. And they come right to my phone and I just dial the agent immediately.
You dial them immediately. You don't wait around. You don't sit down and do your research, and you don't look at the satellite shot and make sure that it's not backed up to a major highway or something. You just go.
I just go. I don't even run my numbers until I talk to the agent. I just call them right away. I want to be first, especially since I don't know if other investors are working with their own agents and can offer the full 6%. So if I get there first and offer 6%, then that agent might want to help me move things along quicker.
I love it. What is that conversation that you have with the agent when you go in and you say, hey, I'm interested in this property, and oh, by the way, you can represent me? How does that go? Help people
Basically
out.
Like that. You know, I call and I'm like, hey, I see you've got a distressed property. You know, I'm looking for these. It seems to be perfect. I'm unrepresented, so you can represent, both sides of the deal. Can I get a little information about the property? And they just kind of take it from there, and I be quiet and listen.
That's simple. That's it. I am telling you, this is not rocket science. It's just getting in front. It's just being proactive. It's just having those conversations, building your network of people that will work with you, that will send you these opportunities. And real estate agents, it's just, a lot of people get intimidated by it. A lot of people think that they're going to be like, well, where's your proof of funds? And where's your, no, I want to see your bank statements. I want to see the properties that you bought and this and that. And listen, when you're working with real estate agents, a lot of times they do ask for a proof of funds. Jerry Norton has a great proof of funds if you want to go with that. Jerry Norton's a great friend of the show, and you can check that out. Just Google Jerry Norton proof of funds, or just go talk to a private lender before you get this up, so you feel confident having those calls, because they're going to ask for it. So then you go that this property went too fast, but they brought you something else.
And then 2 weeks later, he's like, I've got something coming on the market, but the sellers don't want a bunch of people walking through the house due to COVID. Do you think we could get something done quickly and just with like one showing? And I'm like, absolutely. And that same day, I, ran my numbers, just did a basic, what are the comps looking like? What are other fixed ups homes selling for? What might the rehab be? And made an offer. The seller accepted it. And as soon as the seller accepted it, I turned around and I just called my best buyer, only one buyer. I had built up rapport with him, knew exactly what he was looking for in exactly what area, and this hit on the mark. He came out to see it like 2 hours later. And I was like, hey, he's gonna walk through this one time and he won't have to come see it again until, we're closed. He walked through maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes in the house. He came out and he said, yep, let's do it. So it was really a less than 24 hours done.
I love it. I love it. So what price did you get it at? What price did you sell it to him at?
So I got it under contract for $74,000 and he took it off my hands for $82,000. So I made $8,000.
Oh, come on. Hold on.
Oh, I get the bell. This is amazing. I've seen so many people get the bell.
I am here with Luke Rotfold, which Luke has been over the last 7 years. We've worked together and worked around each other.
Absolutely.
And Luke has been on the podcast a few different times because I call him America's greatest phone prospector, greatest cold caller for real estate deals. And just to prove that, he's got a $10 million portfolio of properties, okay? He's done about $7 million worth of deals, and 75% of those deals have come from picking up the phone and being proactive. The other 25% with SMS text messaging,
for sure,
right?
Exactly. SMS, a little bit of direct mail, just over the years, but yeah.
Well, the
majority of that is cold calling.
Yeah, and the point of it, by the way, he's 31 years old. 31 years old, a multimillionaire, and he started 7 years ago. You still cold call?
Oh yeah.
How often?
Oh yeah.
How often?
So it used to be, obviously when I got started, it was 5-6 days a week, and I was going 5 hours. But no, as it kind of as it kind of gets rolling and your business starts moving along, I don't really have time to do that anymore. Unfortunately, I love it. I love it. It's a blast. And so unfortunately right now I'm probably about 3 times a week for about 3 hours, which is, it's not bad, but I probably do maybe 9 to 10 hours a week. But I mean, the reason why it's tough to do a lot more is because the rest of the time, we're going on appointments, and we do a lot of stuff up in northern Arizona. We'll do stuff in other areas. So, and we still go on our appointments. What we've kind of seen is that when Jake and I go on our appointments, we book 50%. We close 50% of the appointments we go on. So if we book 2 appointments a week up in Prescott, we're going to go on both of them. We're going to get one of them. Mm-hmm. That's our numbers. Our numbers are we get 1 out of every 2. And so if obviously if we start kind of taking that out and having other people go on the appointments, I'm not saying that they wouldn't do as well, but I'm not, we're not in the position where we want to lose 50, we want to get that deal every single time.
But Luke, that means you're working in your business, not on your business.
I am. I know.
I don't understand this. I think I do understand it. I understand it on some level. I don't want to work in the business. I want to work on the business.
Right.
But I think people jump to that way too fast.
Oh, I think so too. And so I was going to say the other big reason why I do still cold call is I just feel like it keeps you sharp. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's one of those things where when we have our acquisition managers that say, hey, this happened, or if someone's got questions, I like being able to know what's going on. I like being able to be like, hey, I know this has been happening. I've been hearing it too. So this is what you need to say. This is what you need to do.
When you ask somebody if they would consider an offer on their property, there's only 6. Only 6. Can you believe it? Out of the millions of different responses that you think you can get, there's only 6 responses that they're going to give you. Okay? And we're going to go over each one of these responses so that you feel comfortable and confident moving forward with that conversation, and you feel like you can, whatever they respond, you know how to respond to that so that you can keep going and further that conversation and see if there's somebody that will actually do business with you. All right? So the first response, the best response, the scariest response is yes. Yes, I would consider an offer. This is where you pile in the benefits. The second response is really, really like, how much will you give me, right? How much will you give me is that, and no are kind of the most common ones, but they throw it right out at you, some version of that. The next one is, yes, but maybe in the future, right? They're like, you know, some response is, well, we're kind of thinking about it. We've got a tenant in there for the next, 6 months, so we're going to sell it in the future. Next, this one is great because we have pulled so many deals when people tell us no. All right? When people say no, listen, I have raised my kids here. They are going to bury me in the backyard. I am never selling this property. I love it. It's the best. I completely understand. If you happen to have any other properties you would consider selling, maybe something that needs to be fully remodeled, something that needs a little love, right? That's what you're asking for. So the fifth one is, how'd you get my number, right? I have an internet provider. You don't have to use LexisNexis. This is kind of old. We'll update that. But I've got an internet provider. You can use LexisNexis. They're a big company that I send over the addresses and that I'm interested in. And if they have the phone number, they send it back. And sometimes I get lucky. Just tell them. Like, it's public. I mean, it's right there. I mean, the data is provided by data companies. And then the last one, the sixth response that you're going to get is, who are you? Who are you? I'm a local real estate buyer looking to do tasteful remodels in the area. I'm a local real estate buyer looking for properties to buy in your area.